To be completely honest, a muffin is just a fat dude's excuse for eating a cupcake for breakfast. What's up, YouTube? I'm EJuice Recipes. Welcome back to my channel. This is not a DIY made easy video. This is just flavor notes on a recipe that I am super duper proud of. It's really, really good. This recipe has been like my white whale. You know, if Moby Dick was a giant blueberry muffin, and I wanted to jump into it, that would be what this recipe is. So it's called Country Boy, because that is what I am. And a lot of the time, you know, I find myself very interested in these complex profiles that I enjoyed as a child, and food that I ate, and it's something that I really, really want to make. And I have been trying for probably at least a year to really nail this profile down. And I've gone through several different iterations of this recipe and bought countless flavors, trying to really find the right ones. And I think that I really kind of nailed it. So yeah, it is a blueberry cornbread muffin. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but you know, I was really, really picky with this one. I really wanted it to be perfect. I had this certain texture, this certain blueberry, this certain spice note, you know, everything. It was just all encompassing, and it was a problem for so long. But yeah, you know, let's not waste any more time yakking. I'm going to start with, you know, kind of the cornerstone of the recipe, and it is Flavora Blueberry Muffin. And we are going to use it in here at 2%. So I've got some gripes with Flavora Blueberry Muffin. I don't really think that it is a blueberry muffin at all. In fact, I think that it is a very good baked blueberry, but any sort of muffin or bakery aspect that we're alleged to be in here does not exist, in my opinion. It is a really good note to start with for the blueberry note in this blueberry muffin, though. It needs a little bit of help with the texture. It has a really good baked blueberry taste, but I'm going to add 1% of Wonder Flavors blueberry jam super concentrate in there to really, really, really crank up the texture of that blueberry. So, like I said, there is no muffin in Flavora Blueberry Muffin, and you know where I come from, we make muffins with cornmeal. So we are going to use 5% of one-on-one cornbread, and that's really going to give us the texture, that nice cornmeal taste, and it's really going to make this muffin grainy and really convincing. So I think that I've talked about this flavor before, and I've really, really struggled with this flavor for probably at least the last 2 years. You know, when it first started getting popular, people were putting it in cakes because it adds those kind of crispy brown edges to the cake. And I really didn't get a whole lot of that from it. You know, some people said that it was just like the best bread note, etc. You know, I've heard a lot of really good things about it, and I went through a 10 mil of this flavor trying to figure out what it was that people liked about it so much, and I just couldn't figure it out. I've seen it used anywhere from like 0.5%, you know, all the way up to 3%. And personally, I have to use it at 5% before I get any of that. But, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more later, this flavor really, really needs a lot of time to steep before you get the max benefit out of it. I found that that is just the best way to use this flavor is you've got to let it steep. So texture, cornbread, 5%. Also, for the kind of sweet cakey aspect of the muffin, we're going to use 2% of Wonder Flavors Angel Cake in here, and yeah, that's going to give us the sweet fluff. You know, that really pleasant cupcakey part of the muffin, because you know a muffin is really just a fat dude's excuse to eat a cupcake for breakfast. The last couple things that are going to go in here is I think that with the cake and the cornbread and the muffin, you really need some butter in there to really sell it as a muffin. You've got to get that creamy buttery mouthfeel. So yeah, 0.75% baked cream butter base. Just going to give us a really nice creamy mouthfeely butter. And last thing that we're going to put in here, because you really can't make any sort of breakfast pastry without cinnamon. A little Flavora Rich Cinnamon. I will be the first one to tell you that this flavor is horrifying. If you've ever played with it before, you will know that it is extremely potent. So a little trick that I like to do is I just make a dilution. So, I take 10 mils of PG and 10% of Flavor Rich Cinnamon, and then you've got a 10% dilution of Flavor Rich Cinnamon. So if you wanted to use a very, very minuscule amount of Flavor Rich Cinnamon, or if you were making a very small batch, you can use a dilution of it so that you're not overpowering your flavor profile with that cinnamon. Is a very, very good cinnamon. It's just super volatile and highly dangerous. Yeah, that's it. That's what goes in here. As far as sweetener goes, I've got a soft spot in my heart for flavorless sweetener. I do use it in here at 1.5% because I like sweet liquids, and I think that flavorless sweetener works really, really well with bakeries. So yeah, steep time. I initially made this version of this recipe, about 2 weeks ago, and yeah, it was okay. I was like, man, I think we're getting somewhere with pushing the 5% cornbread up there, but we'll let it sit around and steep out a little while. I tried it about 3 days ago, no real change. I had to rewick my tank today, and I was out of the juice that I had in there, so I did go ahead and put this in here. It just knocked my socks off. I was absolutely amazed. After 2 full weeks of steeping time, it is beautiful. I absolutely love this recipe. I would love to hear your thoughts about it if you get a chance to mix it up. Also, what are your white whales? Do you have a recipe out there that you've been trying to nail down for a really long time and you feel like you just can't figure it out? Well, I have a Patreon campaign, and you can go over there and sign up for that. There's a link to it down in the description of this video. And I take requests. So if there's anything at all, as many as you want, you can request a profile, and I will do my best to try to recreate that for you. If you can't, that's okay too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn notifications on so that I get to annoy you. Yeah, you, every time I upload a video. Like, comment, and I will definitely see you guys in the next one.